Hey guys, thanks for joining me. So in this video I'm gonna do another mukbang video with a beautiful watermelon. Um, this was actually a really big watermelon. I can't eat it all. I think when I weighed it, it was about 15 pounds or so, and I paid $7 for it. So about 50 cents or so per pound. So pretty good deal. So I'm gonna eat because it's about 11 o'clock and I haven't eaten anything yet, so let's hope it's sweet. Mmm. Super good. I adore watermelon the during the warmer months. It's summer right now, so good, so refreshing, so hydrating. I usually eat much sooner, but I had a lot of chores to do, so. Mm. Oh, and please don't mind my wet hair. I just showered like 15 minutes ago because I didn't want to be dirty. And plus, I was sweating so much. I still kind of am. But yeah, I seriously just want to eat. So, today's discussion is going to be how expensive veganism is. So, let's talk about this for a few minutes. Let's say you're not vegan and you go to a vegan restaurant and you overindulge. You spend too much, you don't realize how much you're buying until the check comes, and then you realize that I just bought like $100 worth of things for one dinner. It's totally common to do this. That's why people think veganism is so expensive. If you avoid restaurants, or no, not avoid restaurants, but if you limit your restaurant going, I guess, yeah. If you limit your restaurant going, you will realize that it is so affordable to be vegan. The cheapest foods in the planet are whole foods, are starches, veggies, fruits, beans, potatoes, rice. Those are among the cheapest fruits in the world. Mm. So good, guys. Mm. So, essentially, if you stick to whole foods, you probably won't even spend $10 a day. I think the average is about 20 or so. The average American spends about 20. I mean, I can't really say that's a fact for sure, but I think I've heard a couple of people say that. And I really think that veganism is super affordable. In fact, I used to be like the normal person. When I first went plant based, I wasn't calling myself vegan at the time, but plant based, I I thought veganism was so expensive. I was starting to pay for my own food for the first time because my parents wouldn't buy certain things for me. So I decided to actually pay for stuff. And it was just so much money. And I was taking food for granted at the time because my parents were feeding me. But I realized when I started paying for my own food that it is so expensive if you try to go for foods that are more exotic. Like, let's say passion fruit. Passion fruit in the United States is pretty rare, especially in the neighborhood I live in, the state I live in. So it's about $5 a pound. I could get a huge watermelon for a little more than that. So of course I'm gonna go for the cheaper option and the more cost efficient option. This was about 15 pounds and $7, so it was about 50 cents a pound. But passion fruit is $5 a pound, so I'm not gonna get something that's more costly per pound. Another tip I have for you guys to kind of save money is to buy in bulk. Call Costco or call like your local major supermarket and see if they'll give you a bulk discount, because generally about 99% of things are cheaper in bulk. Oh, like I mean, personally I've never done this, but I've heard many YouTubers talk about this, that they bought like a 40-pound box of bananas for like $30, which is incredible. It's a great deal, and plus they were organic bananas. So buying in bulk is always, well, not always, but about 99% cheaper than if you buy one by itself. And plus, if you think you have too much fruit on you, you can always freeze it. You can always freeze your fruit. If you feel like you have too many bananas, freeze them. Make some awesome banana and ice cream with it. When I first tasted banana and ice cream with my food processor, it was literally the best thing ever. I would have it basically every day, multiple times a day. But then I ran out of bananas and I felt really upset that I didn't have any more ripe bananas in my little area. I tried to look for ripe bananas at supermarkets and stores, but they didn't have any ripe bananas either. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine when people say that that the yellow bananas without spots are ripe. And when they turn spotty, they're like rotten. I used to think the same way. Before being vegan, I would never go for the spotty banana. I would always try to go for the clean, you know, like pristine yellow banana. What is that? That's weird. But yeah, always try to go for the spotty bananas. I've seen many spotty bananas discounted at supermarkets because if they're not used up, they would have to throw them away. And of course, they don't want that, so they discount them in the dollar section of your supermarket. So definitely utilize those if you're trying to save money as a vegan. I use them seriously like all the time, at least like 4 times a week. And of course, if you think your bananas are going bad, freeze them. Like, they're never gonna go bad that way. Like, you could freeze bananas for like up to a year. And whenever you're in the mood for banana and ice cream, you could just blend or food process bananas, or add some cinnamon or mangoes or whatever fruit is in season and throw it in there. It's gonna be amazing. And if you don't want to use fruit, you can always use like cinnamon or nutmeg or whatever the case is. It's gonna taste so good. I also like to use PB2 in my banana and ice cream. It just gives it like a really kind of chocolate and like peanut butter and banana flavor. It is so good. I love like PB2. I featured it in one of my videos. It's seriously one of my favorite things. And plus, it's a lot lower in fat than regular peanut butter, but it also is a little more expensive. So yeah, you kind of have to ask yourself at some point, would you rather have a higher fat diet, or would you rather have lower fat and have to pay a little bit more? The choice is yours, of course. I love watermelon so much. Another tip I have to save money as a vegan is to cook for yourself. I think that's super important as a vegan. You don't want to overspend and then realize that veganism is not for you because you're spending too much. If you cook your own rice, if you invest in a rice cooker, or I think like an instant pot or something. I've heard a lot of YouTubers talk about an instant pot. Or like some other like gadget. You will save yourself so much money in the long run. Or you can be more conventional like me and just cook your rice on the stovetop without any equipment. It does take a little bit longer, but it doesn't matter. Like, you're doing whatever is necessary to help you out. Another tip I have for you guys is with beans. Beans are a little cheaper if you buy the can as opposed to raw beans. I don't know why that's the case, but beans, well, I mean, at least as far as I'm concerned, beans do tend to be cheaper when you buy them in the can. Just make sure it's not GMO, or just make sure it doesn't have the yeah, whatever it's called, but the can that actually harms your body. Try to do that. If you can't find one like that, which I can't, don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't worry. It's okay. Or if you are worried about it, you can just try to cook your own beans. I've tried to cook beans. I tried to cook black beans before. It did not turn out good. I think I burned a little bit. It tasted a little bit burnt, and yeah. It did taste a little bit burnt, but it's okay. Like, to this day, I haven't found a good way to cook beans that don't burn them or that don't give it like a bad flavor. I always prefer the flavor of cooked beans like within the can than when I try to make it myself. I don't know why. I just never do it right. But of course, be sure to drain it and like rinse it really, really well, because it is loaded with salt and you don't want that unnecessary sodium. I'm not saying salt is bad for you, not at all, but you just don't want the excess. You can, of course, sprinkle salt on your food or add salt to your food, no problem, but that's just a lot of excess sodium. So yeah, drain it really well. if you do decide to do it. Another tip I have for you guys to save money as a vegan is to cut your own fruit. People make a ton of money because people are too lazy to cut their own fruits. Like, you could get like two huge, nice, ripe mangoes for $2, but people sell like half of one for $2 because it's cut. Convenience is definitely a good thing, but when you're on a budget and when you're trying to save money, just just do it yourself. Yeah, if you want to do a little meal prepping on Sunday evening or Sunday morning, whenever you have time, and just do it yourself, and you'll have fruit for the rest of the week. Like it always really shocks me how much people make money for just cutting fruits. It's crazy. And of course, if you don't want to cut your own fruits, you could always get fruit that you don't have to cut. Watermelons is something that you probably have to cut, but things like bananas, apples, pears are things you don't have to cut. So you could just grab those before work, before school, before college, and then eat them. Eat them whenever you're hungry. And yeah, of course, this is really important. Make sure you eat enough. I mean, being a vegan, I can certainly tell you that I struggled with eating enough. I always kind of felt a little bit undercarbed. I always developed a headache sometime during the day, usually around 4 or 5 o'clock. And then I realized that I wasn't eating enough carbohydrates. I wasn't eating enough starches. So that's super important if you want to be a healthy vegan. Be a carb vegan. I'm so glad that these watermelons are back in season. You could seriously snack on watermelons all day. Oh yeah. So, going back to the point that I made before I started eating was make sure you pack enough food with you. Make sure you always pack more than you need. Always, always, always. Always try to pack a lot more than you need. If the situation arises, and you feel super hungry or you have to stay back for work or whatever the case is, you have food to fall back on. I know it's a nuisance to carry so much food with you, but I try to do it every day when I go to college. I try to carry more than I need, despite me having, let's say, a 4-hour day or something. I still try to carry more because the situation may arise that I need to stay back and I won't have enough food on me. So always carry more than you need. Try to make it a habit of drinking water very frequently. Drink about 4.5 liters per day. I know that seems like a lot, but try. I mean, since I started drinking 4.5 liters, my skin has cleared up so much. It's so much softer, seriously. My skin is a ton times more softer than it ever has been, except that little pimple which kind of developed because I ate too much fat this weekend. Too many fatty foods. That's why I'm trying to kind of quit the fats. And being vegan does not mean hold on. And being vegan does not mean I necessarily do not indulge once in a while, because I love to indulge. I love to eat, like fast food or unhealthy like food. But, like that's when I'm out. But when I'm, like indoors, I always prefer to eat clean, eat healthy, eat whole foods, because it just makes me feel my best. When I'm on the go and I need some like a quick surge of energy, fast food is the only option, even if I may have more food with me. So it's always important that to know what fast food, what hold on. Let me try to phrase this properly. It's always important to know what vegan options fast food places offer. And of course, if you don't know, you could always look it up on your phone, tablet, computer, anything. But always kind of keep that in the back of your head so you don't eat something that's not vegan. It seems like it's gonna rain. It's just so good, guys. Oh my god. A plus. So I think it's really important that you guys try to follow veganism to the best of your abilities. Of course, no one is a perfect vegan. I made many mistakes as a vegan, but I've always learned from it, and I've always realized what I should stay away from. Being vegan does not mean you're perfect. Being vegan means that you do make mistakes, but you learn from them. And I think that's one of the main things that a lot of people ignore as vegans. They think, oh, vegans think they're so perfect. No, we don't think we're perfect, but we try to improve ourselves every day from our experience. I'm actually starting to feel a little bit full. Veganism is not only just a diet, it's a lifestyle, and I totally agree with it. Veganism is not something that you could just like eat like plant-based. It's about not wearing things that are, like tested on animals. You use vegan products, just like everything. It's an entire lifestyle. And hold on. I wanted to say something, but I just completely forgot. And now I don't remember at all, so it's gonna bug me. So, if you're plant-based, you just eat a diet that's vegan. You don't really care about the animals in that regard. But if you're vegan, you actually care about the animals, the planet. Oh, now I remember the thing I wanted to talk about. So, another important part of veganism that I think a lot of people forget is try to buy things where the companies don't exploit their workers. Places like Walmart, in some places Target, and etc., etc. Those places often exploit their workers, offering very low wages, barely above the standard of living, if even that. And they just don't offer their workers the same way, the same benefits, which is really awful. And I think a lot of vegans forget that yes, we want to save the animals, yes, we want to save the planet, but we also want to help each other. So we shouldn't give our money to places that exploit workers. That's how they're able to keep their prices so low. That's how Walmart is able to keep its prices so low, because they exploit their workers. And just try not to shop at places that exploits their workers. I think that's so important, because I try to stay away from places that exploit their workers, even if their prices are phenomenal. Because I know that veganism is about trying to save. It's not about yourself, it's not about someone else, it's about everything and everyone. And yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video now because it's over 25 minutes, so. I ate about a third of this. It was really, really big. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this mukbang video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. It's free and it really helps my channel grow. And if you think that someone could benefit from this video, please send the video to them. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Bye.